Top Billin.
Fast, you play hard, you play physical. That's who we are. Let's go right here. Nice, right there, champ, good. Let it go, champ. Good. Go, Sean, run. Let's go. Nice, oh, Quiku, you did great job. But if he peels, you add on. Whip.
All right, y'all, extremely excited for one, Coach Geoff Collins to be coming to Atlanta, the best city in the entire country, and making Tech great again. A coach who I've followed for a long time, who've authored the psycho defense at Mississippi State and done his thing at Florida, and of course, now at Temple. But I'd be remiss if I didn't give credit to one Coach Paul Johnson, who kept Tech afloat and generally did great things. Appearances in the ACC championship game, bowl wins. Man, not much bad you can say about Coach Paul Johnson. If I did have to say something bad, I would say he did not capture the coolness factor of the best city in the country. And that's where I think Geoff Collins, along with his coaching prowess, will excel. Coach Collins is as cool as it gets, man. You see him right here, Waffle Housing it up. He ditched the Waffle House, man, got slim and trim. Now he's ready to go with a team that's got some new threads, Adidas deal, living a 3-stripe life, some of the best uniforms in the country, in the best recruiting state per capita in the entire country. My man doesn't have to leave the state if he doesn't want to and can get the job done. And with the Dogs on top, poised to win the Natty as soon as 2019, it's never been a better time to be in the state, because everything will be at the forefront for the best city in the entire country and the best state in the entire country. And Geoff Collins can pick up off that, because the Dogs can't have everybody. Watch recruiting pick up and watch these wins start to pile up as well. But let's get into a film breakdown. All right, before I get started, I wanted to say that I can't be any more fired up to cover my hometown team, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, by having my own platform here on YouTube. But I'll take it beyond YouTube as well, and definitely get a site to where we can have members and join up and definitely make Tech great again. So with that being said, this is a perfect opportunity for Tech to become great again, just because of the wealth of talent in the state. And I think the wealth of talent in the state, as far as what we're about here, is about defense. So hiring a defensive coach, no disrespect to Coach Wisenhunt, I wasn't with that particular rumored hire. Geoff Collins, who was who I wanted if it was going to be a defensive coach, and that's exactly who Tech got. So that's why I'm so fired up. But the fact that he brings a 4-3 defense here, so 4-3, I think, is more in line with what the state produces, because you know the states are going to be able to produce really good 6 and 7 techniques, as we see right here. Look at the spacing in Geoff Collins' base defense going against Texas A&M back in the day with the Mississippi State psycho defense, one that I had to do a lot of film studies on back in the day at Saturday Down South, because they had got to #1 in the country, I believe, in his last year there. But you see a legit 7 technique right here. You're going to have your long 6'5", 6'6" guys out in space. Suppose you're able to talk a guy like Eric Gilbert from Marietta to come in and put his hand in the dirt and rush up field out there in Atlanta. Think about how great that would be. Mad 3 techniques and two eyes in the state as well. It's just perfect, man. It's just absolutely perfect. But where Tech is going to be great under Geoff Collins is in the second level. He does fantastic with second-level players, off-the-ball linebackers. Think about some of the guys he had at Mississippi State, Bernardrick McKinney, Richie Brown. I think he was instrumental in getting Leo Lewis to Mississippi State as well. They had even guys like Matt Wells, Nickel Sam type guys. He does a lot of stuff with personnel. It's not an easy defense by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a rewarding defense because everybody gets to get involved as far as getting after the passer. All right, even with that being said, I don't want you guys to just take heed to what I'm talking about as far as getting after the passer, because these guys are going to be very gap sound. I noticed that with his Florida defense, some of the best defenses in the country, very much reminiscent of what Alabama was doing at the time. They just didn't have the offense at Florida to really compete, but they used to give Bama fits as far as what it can do defensively, and a lot of other teams. I remember what it did against Georgia in a particular game where they didn't throw the ball, I think, more than 5 times, and they were able to beat Georgia. But you see right here, Antonio Morrison. Let's go back right here. Let's look at the gap soundness of this. So if you're going to send an extra rusher right here, you have Gerard Davis. He's leading in right there. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 a 5-man pressure, you see the rush in drops back off, but you also see an approaching strong safety in Marcus May right here, and Antonio Morrison's right here. But man, it's not him just shooting anything. You can see everybody in each gap, all gaps covered. That's what I like to tell people. All gaps covered, even when you're being aggressive, controlled aggression. So he knows that he's good right here. No edge breaching right here. People coming to approach on this right here as far as the contain goes. You just have to do your job and be able to fill your particular gap. So Antonio Morrison was a really good linebacker for him. And I could see a guy like Bruce Jordan Swilling and some of the other guys that were on the roster having that type of success as well. But you see him right there, waiting at the line of scrimmage. He know he's clean. They keep you clean in the 4-man front, allow you to go hunt, stick, wrap up, put him on his ass. And on the back end, people are probably not going to give him a lot of credit for what he was able to accomplish at Florida just because he was following a Will Muschamp, Tavares Robinson defense. But, man, I could see his fingerprints all over that particular defense by his style of play. So you see right here, you got the fabricated pressure scheme. He kind of sent in the house, but look how smart these guys are and how well taught they are. They know they can't get there. They start to peel back right there. So that closes off some of the passing lanes for some of the mid-distance stuff. However, you see right here, you got a cover three shell. You have man right here towards the boundary. It's a zone principles right here because you see he's not following the man, this particular cornerback right here. So he's mixing coverages on the back end, a single high safety, but this guy knows that he has man coverage on the outside right here, that he can let that guy go. And that guy, I think, is Vernon Hargreaves, one of the better cornerbacks at the time. So he can be a little bit more aggressive in his play. You see him attack the dig route, picked off. Great defense, great sound defense at all levels right there. Now I want you to look at this fabricated pressure scheme right here. You see the spacing right here. You have a defensive end almost out to the 9s, which allows for some stuff to be happening right here because you still have to fill all gaps. So you'll have a fire right here off the second level, and that'll occupy this particular lineman right here. It was Cam Robinson, Jacksonville Jaguars left tackle. And you can see the confusion that it causes because him approaching right here in that gap, which is normally going to be Cam Robinson's gap to operate, allows for a free rusher right here. And he's not even able to sense it because, it's a great disguise of pressure. See it right there? If you don't have great awareness as a quarterback to be able to go through your progressions, you cannot have a one read scan and not look at your backside or be able to sense that on the backside because he's going to be sending stuff from everywhere. And it's off of a 4-man front too. So imagine that. It used to be the adage was you needed a 3-4 defense to really compete as far as the fabricated pressure game. But he does it out of a 4-man front because he just understands personnel. He understands spacing and he understands what exactly to do to confuse people. So that right there wasn't that good. Fumble. And we were able to recover their own fumble, but you know how it goes. All right, at the beginning of it, I think in that Temple bumper, he was talking about playing like fast and physical. A lot of people do that, but then they go play a soft zone defense. Not Geoff Collins. He's going to play some man. When he identifies people who can play man, he's going to get into his man coverage schemes, and then you're going to see him teach people how to rally to the ball and tackle. Now, that was one of Tech's thing last season. A lot of missed tackles in the open field. I think the tackling will get a little bit better. No disrespect to Coach Woody out there, but I think Geoff Collins is just a little bit above him as far as what he can accomplish. So you see the nickel Sam there, Matt Wells. Let's go back on that. All right, we see it going right here. Identifying a player like a Matt Wells going against, we see right here, Queen personnel, but you still have a nickel Sam out there. So being able to get a fast linebacker or a guy maybe that you can convert to that who can run and being able to combat guys who want to go tempo on you because you're able to stay in your base personnel and you have the speed and athleticism to do that. So you know that the state of Georgia is filled with guys who can be a Matt Wells or a nickel Sam type player for him. But he'll alternate between the nickel Sam and his regular nickel coverage. He'll send safeties. He'll fire zone blitzes, all kinds of different stuff, man. The guy just has a lot of tools in the arsenal. So that psycho defense coming to the flats is going to be off the chain. Even when the scheme can't necessarily get there, He's going to be teaching rallying to the ball, but more importantly, he's going to be teaching hustle. Everybody's going to have to hustle to be on a Geoff Collins team. You see right here, initially, they're kind of playing it from the play action and being kind of unaggressive in their approach, kind of two-gapping right here. But you see the stick-to-itiveness between the end right here and one of the tackles allows them to eventually uncover on this deep drop here, and they're able to both converge the quarterback at the same time. All right, so check this out. This looks like a situation where you would rush 3 and drop 8, cover 8, right? But, man, with him, you never know where the pressure's coming from. If you see any type of inside tight cornerback, chances are he can fire, and he will fire. So then you end up getting 5. I believe they'll rush this particular linebacker as well. If you see right there, now look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6-man pressure when it looked like it was going to be cover 8. And what that does to a quarterback, you wouldn't believe. So all of a sudden, his throws are going to have to be rushed. He's panicking. He has a free rusher right here. And then it's about rallying to the ball, tackling, fast and physical. So with that being said, man, you're going to have to check back here for more. I'm only going to be talking about defense right now until he makes an offensive hire, because you just don't know which way he'll go in offense. Hopefully he's able to go with some type of offensive coach that's able to take advantage of the type of personnel that Coach Paul Johnson has left behind. But if not, man, just give this guy 2 or 3 recruiting cycles and watch what happens over there in the flats. I don't want to mince words right here. This is a great hire for Tech. This is one of the brightest football minds in the entire country, and he's coming right there to Georgia Tech to follow up Paul Johnson. It's going to be some good stuff right here, man. Hit the recruiting trail. After he hits that press conference, he should get right there right now. But, man, I'll have more. Make sure you check back. If you like the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets football team, follow your boy Murf right here on Top Billin Sports YouTube channel, and we'll get it going and get it rocking until we build out that site, all right? But with that being said, I'm your boy Murf, the Underground King, and I am out.
What more can I say?
Top Billin.